When you travel to the interiors of the Democratic Republic of Congo, the sights behold you. DRC is home to the second largest rainforest in the world. Its mineral wealth is estimated at $24 trillion, but the average income of a DRC citizen is only $400 a year. Today there are more than 100 different armed groups vying for territory and control of mineral wealth in eastern DRC. If this wasn't enough, DRC has been grappling with the world's second largest Ebola epidemic.
The peacekeeping of the past were based in, let's say, ceasefire, buffer zones, where the peacekeepers were extremely respected and they were not targeted. This is not happening in this mission. This mission, the peacekeeper that is deployed here, he must be prepared to fight. To fight first to protect himself, and second to protect the civilian population of this country.
Because of the legacy of Rwandan genocide, because of the abundance of these mineral resources which is there in my area, I have got these armed groups which are roughly about 33 to 34% which are active in my area of responsibility. I have the maximum number of human rights violations in my area.
The Indians are headquartered in Goma, home to Lake Kivu, that conceals an enormous underwater concentration of carbon dioxide and methane. An untimely eruption could spread a lethal cloud across the city and spare no one. And then there is Mount Nyiragongo, one of the most active volcanoes on the planet. But with more than 2,600 troops on the ground, India is one of the biggest contingents in the biggest and most challenging peacekeeping mission under the UN flag. Protection of civilians is top priority for MONUSCO, and that's why it launched the RDB, a Rapid Deployable Battalion, in 2017, where there is no military presence.
We have to stay out in the open, close to built-up areas where civilians are present. The places are generally infested with the armed group cadres moving around in these areas.
My name is Captain Tanvi, and we are going to be here for at least 13-14 months. We will be coming regularly. We will be interacting with them on a very regular basis. We had gone for a local protection committee meeting, and there was a woman who was a representative of a local women's body. For the last few months, they were suffering from a very sort of embarrassing also or humiliating problem. There was a bandit, a lone bandit, who used to force the women in area whenever they used to move out to collect water or go to their market points, to strip down and harass them in a very humiliating way. And it was really difficult for them to convey to the men who used to go out on patrol.
They had no courage to tell either to the local police or to the local, their family members or to anybody, but they confided that into these female soldiers. And once we came to know of this, we then approached the police, the PNC of this place, and thereafter that PNC people, they went there and they arrested, and that person presently is in jail.
When the first time we were meeting with those women, they told us that they respect us for the job that we are doing, and we are doing a noble job. And my feeling, on the other hand, was that I was really inspired by women of this country in such a hard situation. They are actually running local bodies. They are still trying to collaborate, integrate, and sort of bring a movement.
Here we try and live up to their hopes and give them an opportunity to air out their grievances through Urafiki meet, which in local language means friendship meet.
We try to initiate these talks, and then we encourage people to tell their problems.
Where we try to get all the important stakeholders of the society and the government. We give a platform to the civilians to express their grievances and concerns to them. It is during one of such Urafiki meets, few women brought up the issue of unemployment for women, especially during the non-harvesting season. we did some research on internet and came up with a simple yet effective way of generating revenue through a mushroom growing project.
It was really amazing for me to see that from these natural things, the remains of maize, beans, corn, we can make mushroom. We used to work in the fields where there is kidnapping and sexual exploitation. So when we started earning more than $30 a month, it was unbelievable.
Indian troops by nature are a people's army. And what a people's army and those who are involved in that is that they know how to reach out to people. It enables better safety and security of the people. It enables them to do their jobs better. So that's one critical skill of engaging with people that many other troops may not have.
कैसे गाड़ी को रोकना है, कैसे ड्राइविंग सीखना है, क्या क्या इसके अंदर चीज़ें होती है, उसके बारे में आपको जानकारी दूंगा.
पावर स्टीयरिंग सिस्टम, पावर स्टीयरिंग पंप और पावर स्टीयरिंग रिजर्वोयर है. And all DPST is here.
DRC is a French country. The training is done in English and most NGOs are English speakers. Now when they come here to learn in English, the certificates which are given, when they go to present them to the NGOs which are speaking English, they like it very well and they are selected.
And after 6 weeks we start strengthening exercises.
Después de 6 semanas comenzará.
Ok, buenísimo, me encantaría oler y jugar al voleibol.
Okay, I would love to smell and play volleyball.
Okay, I think you should be able to play volleyball.
Who says language is a barrier to forge connections? India's Level 3 hospital in Goma's only state-of-the-art hospital in the city, capable of carrying out life and limb-saving surgeries. According to the mandate, they're supposed to treat UN staff only. But remember, these are Indians we're talking about. Saving lives, holding free cataract surgeries, going to the interiors to hold Ebola awareness camps, or adopting an orphanage.
So Ebola handshake. Okay.
They are the real needy people. The lady, when she told me that, one of the thing which hurt her the most and which led her to opening this orphanage was, she says, I saw a child breastfeeding on a dead mother. She says that was the day I said, okay, I'll leave my profession as a teacher and do something for these children. If she can do that much, then for us, whatever we are doing is just a small contribution towards mankind.
जो इंडिया में हमारा काम करने का तरीका होता है, उससे भी बेहतर हम यहाँ पर इनके दिलों में विश्वास जगाते हैं.
The training and the experience that they bring to this mission.
Indian troops have a large heart, and that's what differentiates Indians from the others.
Sometimes you move in some of our area of operation in different missions. You go somewhere and then you see that no one can live there, and then you found a detachment or an Indian company.
So every time when he wears this uniform and see the flag on his chest, all kind of a problem, all kind of a complaint, all kind of excuses, which is pulling him back to home, gets subsided with the pride of wearing this national flag on his chest.